Hello, my dear and beautiful friends. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the etiquette of an elegant lady, things that an elegant woman doesn't do, especially, if she's outside the house. Today is going to be an exciting video, so I will give you practical steps to learn how to uplevel your elegance in a daily life. And I always say that these are the things you can do today. You don't need a new degree. You don't need to lose weight. Just practice these things today. Before I start, let me remind you, I do one-to-one consultation. Also, you can purchase my book, online courses, and any products that you can see on my videos as well, available to purchase. And any dresses, luxury, beautiful, you can see unique things that I wear. Everything is available for you. Links are below. I'm so excited. So let's start. Let's dive in right away because there are so many things for us to learn today. Number one, what I want you to understand that an elegant lady doesn't work out like a man. Now, there is a reason why I decided to put this as a first, because more and more women nowadays are going to the gym, and I can see that they're trying to compete with a man and work out like a man and be like a man and even dress like a man. I want you to understand that when you go to the gym or you want to go for a walk, for example, you're jogging and it's part of your routine of exercise, I want you to dress like a woman. Doesn't necessarily mean that you need to wear pink. That's a cute outfit to do. You can do it, but you just need to wear something that men cannot wear. So if you have, for example, a top, try to not wear a simple regular top that men wear. Try to wear maybe blue or red or any other color. Also, if you want to wear black, I would suggest you to do all black ensemble. That looks very classy and elegant in a gym. And of course, make sure that your shoes are as well always clean. Now, the reason I said don't work out like a man, it means that you are not trying to compete with men in a men's section of the weights. I do weights and I'm in a weights area with men, and that's my favorite part because I love being surrounded with a masculine energy, taking care of me, helping me, providing for me, and just being in a man's energy. And I always say for women, especially if you are on your own and not in a relationship, go and just hang out in a weights area. It's the best place how to recharge yourself, because there are so many men and they're trying to impress you and lift the weights and they're being masculine and doing these manly voices. It's an amazing place to be. But you do not work out like a man. Now, if I do weights, for example, it can be 2 kilos, 5 kilos, maybe 10 kilos or dumbbell, but I will not ever go above maybe like 50, 60. I will not be able to lift because that's my own weight. So men are capable to lift 50, 60 kilos, 100 kilos with their legs. They can do bench press and so on, but that's man. And the reason that we're not capable to do it is not that, no, we are capable, but we can, muscles can be thrown, but the reason we should not do it because our body is not created for that. Now, when you lift weights, when you exercise like a man, for example, you never do cardio, you lift very heavy weights and you focus just on your body to build muscle, then it's not going to be a really feminine lifestyle. And elegant women don't do that. Yes, if I lift my weights, I have special like a cute gloves that protect me from the, scratching my skin because my skin is thinner than a man's skin. And all I do is I try to focus on my core, right? So my core, I try to focus on my stamina. I do the dancing, I do the yoga. I love the feminine things. I love the swimming, all these things definitely I love. But when I'm lifting weights, very controlled, very precise, and with a trainer. Because if you're working out yourself, trying to just push and pull without knowing what you're doing, you can harm yourself. So do not work out like a man. And also what I want you understand is that working out like a man means you are focusing on a certain part of the body. I really believe that women thoroughly need to look after your whole body. It's one image. So I find it funny and ridiculous and a little bit like in a circus when a woman is only exercising the below part and making it really big, really round, and then she is flat on the top. Men know that either it's a surgery or done in a gym where lifting 100 kilos. That is unnatural and it is masculine because you are hunting now. Now there's a very big dilemma as well with this. Women don't understand that when you are only exercises your backside, so everything is very big, and to get the attention, that's actually masculine because you are hunting to catch the man. Now, feminine women, elegant women don't work out like a man because their body is proportional. You want to have proportions. So do not exercise like a man. Men, when they're lifting weights, their muscle is growing. So for women, don't be afraid. If you're lifting small weights, it's not going to make you muscular. It's going to just make you firmer. So do not exercise like a man. Be in the man's atmosphere, definitely soak in that energy, but exercise like a woman. And do not forget to warm up before you're doing any exercise, so you do not do any injury. Now, the second what I want to discuss today's video, elegant women do not wear revealing clothing. Now, there is a very big distinction between covered clothing and elegant clothing. As you can see, I love covered clothing. It's my new dress. How do you like it? You can order. But I love closed. I do not even like open hands because, you know, especially in Middle East and in royal aristocratic families, they do not open hands and feet. Mini skirts and low-cut dresses they don't wear, because the body is considered a sacred. The body is considered something that you cover. And it comes, you know, when we are angels, when the world ends and we are in heaven, we will have our angelic beings, then maybe we do not need to wear clothing. But right now in the world, when people are sinful, there is lust, there is danger, there is not being able to be safe, you have to think about your dress code. Now, this is not, you know, about men. Men is very different, because men can run, can hit, can protect himself. He's not wearing, you know, heels. He's not fragile like women. So for women is a completely different dress code. If you want to be elegant woman, you have to stop wearing revealing clothing. And if you do not know what revealing clothing is imagine that you are dating a very successful man and you're going on a dinner to meet his grandparents and parents. If you would wear that dress, for example, this dress is covered, I can wear it, then it's okay. If you feel incredibly cringe, even for me saying, and you imagining that dress, you should not wear that dress, because that is revealing. Now, anything that is transparent is not a part of an elegant woman's wardrobe, because it doesn't cover the body. Anything that is ripped also is not in my wardrobe. Anything that is too open, too short, too unclassy, too modern is not in my closet, because elegant women wear classy clothing that do not go out of the style. I can wear this dress now, I can wear this dress 10 years after. It's going to be in class because the cut is done in a classy way, the shoulders are done, the layering is done in a classy way, the sewing done in classy way. Now, the problem with the modern clothing is that you can wear today and tomorrow they're out of fashion. And what I would suggest as well, for you to have belts. Belts for any dress makes you more elegant. No revealing clothing, and do not also put too many layers. Yes, if you have just a two-piece, if you have a beautiful maybe a top and the trousers, then you can have your coat. That is normal as layers, but I do not suggest for elegant women to wear too many layers, because that is too protective, and in a negative way. This is protective in a positive way, one layer, but too many layers is too much guarded between you and the world, and also it is too masculine, because as you know, cowboys, for example, they have a lot of layers. You know, people who will travel in the wilderness have a lot of layers. Those are masculine lifestyles, masculine clothing. And of course, you know, people working with animals, they have layers, they have like a jacket, they have like a, you know, buttons, they have things, too many things. So that is working class. So you want to avoid too many layers, because elegant lady is not in the streets, she's not in the darkness, she's not in a cheap places, she's in a nice lounge, in a nice hotel, in a beautiful house. So that doesn't require too many layers. Now, the third one, I want you to learn once for all that elegant ladies do not lead a cheap life, because elegance is an expensive trait. Elegance is an expensive lifestyle, and it's an attitude. And actually, I noticed as years are progressing, as I'm, you know, getting wiser and buying more and enjoying life more, I realized that without money, it will be impossible to live. So if you think that it's okay to wait until you meet the man and then you will start living, it's not okay. You need to find something that you can do now that will benefit you and give you the funds. And you need to stop living cheap life in general. Now, what is cheap life? Let's think about food first of all. If you're buying fast food, if you're buying cheap processed food, if you're frying everything, if your food is never organic, if you do not have fruits, if you're buying reduced item, that is cheap. So have a look at your food and water as well. If you're just drinking water from the tap, that's cheap. I have a special water that is alkaline and the pH level is 9 and above. Any water that is 7 or 8, that pH level is okay, but it's a regular water. If you want alkaline water, it starts 9, 9 and 0.5. That's the good water to have. Or you can do filter, filtered water. That is good too. In terms of cheap life and cheap living in general is fast food places, drive-through, very loud, noisy cafeterias that people eat, where everything is cheap. All these buffets that you pay, a couple of cents and you can eat all day. Who do you think is going to be there? Low-class factory workers. And of course, gambling places, casino, no matter how luxurious it is considered cheap life. Because a serious person is not gambling with his money. Money is an expensive tool. I will never gamble with my money. I will never bet with my money. I will never play with my money. I'm very serious with my money. And of course, let's talk about the alcohol. That is a cheap life. Consuming alcohol, being in the bars or pubs or in the clubs, you will never see me there. First of all, the floor is sticky and dirty. It's dark. You cannot hear anyone. So elegant lady does not do that. The traits of an elegant woman, an art of womanhood, is protection of the beauty. And in the clubs, you will never find anything, long term. So no alcohol should be also outside your list. You should not be drinking or smoking. That is not elegant. And you have to understand, elegance is self-control. So what kind of self-control are we talking about when you are under the influence? I, in general, say if you want to have any goal today, if you want to be feminine, if you want to be elegant, if you have any addictions, for example, smoking, drinking, drugs, you should make a rule to eliminate that from your life. You can never be truly elegant. You can wear the most expensive dress, expensive makeup, have the most expensive hair, nails done, but if you're drinking, you are not elegant. Aristocratic people do not do that. Old money, high class people do not get drunk. They can have a wine, I do not suggest, but if they have wine, it's like one sip with a meal, but they do not become drunk. It's incredibly not decent for a human being. Next one, number 5, is elegant ladies. The things that elegant ladies don't do is they do not stop wearing makeup. Wearing no makeup, for me as a woman, I cannot understand. If I ever met a guy and he said, I want you to not wear makeup, I knew that this is never going to go anywhere and I would not even agree to go on a date. Because I'm a woman, I'm a beautiful woman, and my power actually is in my beauty. My success is my beauty. Success of a woman is not in her money or in her degree, it's her beauty. And beauty is external first, because you have eyes, you can see me, and then internal, kind heart, softness, not being resentful towards people, not holding the grudges. Now, wearing no makeup, let's analyze who does that. People who have no time, people who have very simple lives, people who need to work a lot, people who do not care about themselves, people who are not very beautiful, people who are overweight, people who are not confident, people who have no self-esteem, people who have no self-image, so self-image I create, and people who do not know how to do makeup. Now, I named you 10 things. Do you belong? Do you want to belong in these categories? I'm sure that no, if you're watching this video. So start wearing a makeup is a must for elegant lady. Now, you don't need to do full face of makeup if that's not what you would like, but I prefer you always to clean your face and wash your face. You can just brush your eyebrows, eyebrows, then you can put slightly mascara if you don't want to do the full shadow. I love eyeshadows as much as with the dress. And you can do your lipstick. You don't need to always do a lip liner and triple coats, but you can just put a nice shade of either caramel color, so brownish color, nude color, or light red color. Not too dark in a daily life. In the evenings, of course, darker red, darker brown. Now, this is a normal thing. Of course, you can up-level it more to do the bronzer, to do the highlighter. I suggest women have highlighter, even a little bit off top of the nose, of the cheekbones. It just elevates your look and opens your eyes. Makeup, you have to learn how to do the makeup. Now, if you don't know, I would suggest you to go a nice boutique or designer shop, or maybe you have shops, some big malls that have makeup counters. All you can do is to go there, approach any woman that works there that you can see is open and kind and actually has her makeup done well, and say, could you please teach me? Could you advise me how to do brows? And then go to another girl, how to do lips? What would you suggest me to do with my cheeks? They can teach you. It can be a free consultation, maybe 10-15 minutes, or you can book a paid consultation and they will teach you fully how to do your makeup. The best thing I've ever had is I went to a girl, I said, what do you think about my eyebrows? She said, you have very, very unique eyebrows. No one does eyebrows like you. She suggested me what to do. It was many years ago, and I'm still doing it. And that's why it's always sharply, professionally done. And I do it myself. The same is with the hair. I have a good hairdresser. It's a private hairdresser. I ask him what you suggest. He tells me and I do it. Same with my nails. I get the suggestion, what color, the shape, everything, and I do it. Now with nails, I will just tell you, do not do too long. How to know the length of the nails is that you know where you have actually the nail fundament is the beginning and the end. So the end should be the same size as the beginning. So if I bring closer, so imagine this is your nail, this is the fundament of the nail, and this is the end. End should not be bigger than this part, because then it looks too artificial and too natural. I used to love a long time ago very long nails because I was capable to grow them, but then I start noticing that it looks a little bit too artificial and people think that actually they're fake. So now I keep them more oval, more like a feminine, and more shorter nails. So I myself also changed, and I suggest you to change. So makeup, hair, nails, brows must be done. It's part of elegance. I've never met truly elegant lady that is not groomed, and men love that. Men are attracted to that. One time men came to me and said, you look like expensive woman. I said, what do you mean? He said, you are like my mom. Take care of yourself a lot. I said, thank you for compliment. They know which woman is expensive. It's a beautiful compliment. Now the next one, number 5, is elegant ladies. What they don't do is they are people who have standards. So having no standards is absolutely unacceptable. Someone invites you on a date, your standard is that they take care of you, they pay for a date, they bring you flowers, and they bring you home, and your standard is that you are not paying for that. You're not giving your body, you're not giving your money, you're not giving anything from your house. That's a standard. And standards can be different in different situations. Now, if we're talking about professional relationship at work, your standard is that no one is allowed to raise their voice at me. And if, for example, I have a boss, it's going to be always higher person. Either, for example, I worked for the CEO of the company, I never allowed him to raise his voice on me. So no matter how high the position is, and I always like to work in a very high positions where my offices were more secret, I would have all people departments in one, and then mine will be always with a gate, always separate. I love that. But I never allowed anyone to raise their voice at me. And this is part of my standards. No one is allowed. Even if you're my boss, I'm not your slave. I'm still a human being. And for many years, I don't work. So for me, it doesn't matter now. I'm my own boss. But I want you to understand, if you're working or you're in school, your standard should be that no one is allowed to raise their voice at me. No one is allowed to put me down. No one is allowed to criticize me. You have no rights to criticize me because I only know myself. You can say something you do not like. It's your opinion. You can keep it to yourself, but no one is allowed to criticize you. And let's talk about as well closer people, family and friends. The best standard is to establish boundary, that if someone tells you from family, siblings, parents, grandparents, or best friends, you say one sentence, I don't feel comfortable you talking like this. This doesn't work with me. So you make me uncomfortable and it doesn't work for me. So you're cutting out. So if they say, oh, cut it out, you're like this, you always do this, I don't feel comfortable that you speak with me like this. So even if it's a family, even if it's someone close, you have to have boundaries. And that boundary is part of the standard. If you do not have boundaries, you do not have standards, your life is going to be a mess, and that's why you're actually struggling. And number 6, the last one I want to mention, there are of course multiple, and I have different other videos that I talk about elegant etiquette and what women shouldn't do, elegant women don't do. I have multiple videos and you can write a book about it, and this is never-ending subject. But the last one in this video that I want to mention is that elegant ladies do not eat on the street. I mentioned this before, but I feel like it's important to mention again. It means you're not actually walking with your coffee and drinking and sipping and you thinking that you're a Manhattan girl. That is actually considered low class, because elegant woman doesn't need to hold hot coffee and protect herself from the strangers and try to zip it. She will sit down in a nice lounge, drink her tea from the real glass that is made from a porcelain or fine china. She will not even want a takeaway glasses. I do not go to Starbucks or all these Costa or these different names. I don't even know all their names, because I just don't think it's high value. It's just a paper with a hot drink. I don't feel comfortable, to do that. If I need to go to coffee shop, I don't drink coffee, but for example, hot chocolate, I would like them to put in a real cup. Then I will sit down and drink, but I rarely go because it's too noisy there. So we do not drink and we do not eat. You do not buy a sandwich and try to eat the sandwich. In general, I would recommend you to not eat wheat. I say that very often now, that wheat, I discovered that actually we're not supposed to eat wheat. So no bread, no pasta, no rice, because of human body is not able to digest wheat. It's only for the cows, because it's the toxic part of the grass. So I would suggest you to read a book. It's called Wheat Belly, and it will change your life. So do not eat sandwiches, do not eat pastries in a street, because it comes to your chest part, it goes on your clothing, and then you get things on your teeth. And this is the main reason why you shouldn't eat in a street, because it ruins your makeup. You do not know where is food stuck, and it goes on your clothing. I will be hungry, my belly will do the noises, but I will wait until I get to the hotel. And one time I was going to the Bulgari hotel. It's such a beautiful hotel that even inside the hotel, they still have their Bulgari bags and jewelry. And, it's a very beautiful vibe. And I still needed, a while to get to it. And I was very hungry. And I thought, let me just buy something to eat. And I said, never. The core of me said never. And I get to the hotel. I have my own special table there. It's always reserved. They know me. My belly was making a sound while I was talking to the waiter, and he's like, you must be very hungry. I said, yes, but now I'm ready. So I waited, no matter how hungry I was, no matter what kind of sound my belly was waiting. I did not eat in the street, and I waited until I get to the restaurant in the hotel. And this is very important. Not drinking, not eating. The same is with alcohol. You don't drink alcohol in the street. Incredibly cheap. It makes you to look, and you do not eat ice cream or lollipops as well, anything provocative. A lady doesn't do that. Now we have a lot of tips to learn, to implement. We learned, but it's time for us to implement, and let's summarize one more time. Number one, a ladylike, elegant lady, what they don't do, they do not work out as men. They're not trying to compete, and they're not lifting weights higher than their own body. Number two, we discussed that they do not wear revealing clothing, so everything is intact, everything is covered, everything is classy, nothing is transparent. Number three, we discussed that they do not lead cheap life. So they don't go to cheap places, they don't buy cheap things, they don't eat cheap food. They are a little bit more exclusive, and they know that they deserve better. And you can start simply starting up leveling your food, then up leveling your skincare, then up leveling your bedding, then up leveling your curtains, up leveling your lamps, slowly up level your life. Number four, we discussed that elegant ladies do wear makeup, so not wearing a makeup in a certain age when you're a woman, when you're established, that's actually low class. Of course, if you're 10 or 14, you're not a woman yet, you should not wear makeup. But I think if you're already educated, you're going to school, you're learning for your degree, you're working, you're married, you should wear makeup. It's part of being a woman. Number five, we discussed that elegant ladies have standards, and it is communicated very simply with the boundaries they set. They have standards how they go on a date. They have standards that no one at work or strangers can scream at them, can raise voice or put them down. And they also have verbal and physical standards with their family and friends that they say, this makes me uncomfortable. They're able to open their mouths and communicate their boundaries. And the last one, we discussed that she does not eat or drink in the street because it can go on her clothing and stick in her mouth. Now you have a lot of new revelations, and these videos are so amazing. I love rewatching them myself. So implement them and see how much more elegant you will feel and live. Thank you for watching, and remember to smile today and enjoy your life.